Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy, and today I am going to make a tag from scraps. These are all parts of a project, from a project that I finished not long ago, and I don't like to throw things away. So I went ahead and I had a couple of pieces of scrap paper that I was actually using to test out my new corner punch because I wanted to check out the sizes and stuff. And so these were scrap papers that I used. This is a coffee dyed paper, I think, or a tea dyed, I'm not sure. And then a book page that I punched some flowers out of with another punch that I was testing. And a piece of mulberry paper that was left over, a little piece of lace. This was a journaling card gone wrong because it curled up a lot, and then I tried to wet it and flatten it, and it just went all awry. So, but I think that it coordinates with this. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is, I know I want this to be my background because I want to put my book page with my flowers. I want the flowers to let the mulberry paper show through. So I'm going to glue this down first. And I use glue stick with my mulberry paper. I don't have a problem with it showing through the paper like I do with regular glue. I do find that I have to be a little bit careful on the raggedy edges. But other than that, it's not bad. Sometimes, because it is so porous, it will stick to whatever it is that you've got behind it as your glue mat. And you'll have to peel it up like that. All right. And I have a little tear here, and so that's the perfect place to put the mulberry paper. And so I'm just going to line that up across the bottom and very carefully smooth it out. And I'm going to do this at the edges because this will feather out the edges a bit instead of lumping them up under whatever it is that I'm putting on top of it, making it very difficult to write on the back of. So there is that part. And then when you put this on here, I really like the way those look. Now I have to decide, I know that most of this is going to be covered up, but I want to make sure that I have the better side, I guess, just because some words will show. And so I know that I'm going to be stacking and seeing what's working. So I think this is the side I want up. And I am going to go ahead and glue, and I'm going to be very careful gluing around the flowers because I don't want to rip that up. And I want to align these angles with these angles, and that means that the top is going to stick off just a little bit. There we go. There, and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to press it from the back side. And this top that is sticking over, I'm actually going to fold over the top, and that will help to reinforce that top edge a little bit. I have very yellow fingers, and now I have mulberry paper shreds and threads sticking to me. All right, I got out the masking tape because I want to make sure that you can actually write on this. And right now it's still, even with a layer of book page and a layer of printer paper and the mulberry, it's still rather flimsy. So I'm going to reinforce this with masking tape. I'm going to line this up at the bottom here. And I'm going to come straight up over the top. I have discovered that I like using masking tape in making tags. I know that I want to not cover up my flowers, so I am kind of making a mark mentally of where I want the tape to end. And this is Scotch General Purpose. It's number 2050, if you want to get it. This works really well in another tag that I made, and I will link that video below. And look, I still didn't tear it short enough, so I'm just going to tear a little bit more off and a little bit more off because it tore really crooked. There we go. Oh, look at that tear. It kind of echoes the flowers. Happy accident. I'm going to set these to the side. I probably will not use them on this tag, but I may use them on something else. And yes, you can write on this masking tape, but I'm going to put a piece of paper on the back of it anyway. Now for this, I kind of like, it's really weird. This was coffee dyed paper. And when I got this wet, somehow it turned all purple, although there was no purple on any of it. I think it's the brown has different colors in it, and so the purple ran from it. And so I'm just going to layer this on here because I think it looks really good, because this still has the yellowish tinge. It was originally a tan and yellow print. I have a crinkle here that must have been the only crinkle holding it on. So that's okay. I'll go ahead and glue that together. This is a piece of vellum. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue stick because I don't need it to hold it all by itself. And then I am going to use my Fabri-Fix, Fabri-Tac 3-in-1, whatever it is that you have. And I'm going to use this to hold this paper to the vellum. Now it looks like I'm going to have to glue this one back down too. That whole piece did not stay together. Oh, I kind of wish I had looked at that closer. I like the back. Oh well, that's where the glue is now. I'm going to put that back on right there. And then I am going to put this on where the masking tape is. Some of the masking tape is still peeking out the bottom to use this extra piece of masking tape. I'm going to wrap that around the corner on that side and around the corner on that side just to make sure that it holds on to the vellum, that the paper holds on to the vellum. Oh, before I do that, I need to ink it, so I'm going to do that real quick. I don't know what's up with my mustard seed. It looks really strange. I mean, it still works. It just looks really odd. All right, now I'll add the glue. When you struggle with your glue bottle, it may be just because it's time to refill it. I have noticed that when my glue bottle gets less than half full, it is much harder to get the glue to behave. There we go. And I'll just add this piece onto the back, because even though you can write on the masking tape, some pens may not write on it very well. All right, I'm going to add this up here. For a tab. And I think I did this on another project, making a notebook, and I will make a video showing how I did that. We're just going to put a safety pin through here. It's a lot of layers. I should probably get my awl. Matter of fact, I think I will have to, because that is not punching. Through the lace, through the hole in the paper that I just made with the awl, through the lace on the back, and then I'm going to come back through the front, through the other hole that I made, and then close the pin. And I think that's really cute. Now, one last thing. I'm just going to take some of these liquid pearls in Sunflower, appropriate I think. And there we go. Another trashy tag that doesn't look so trashy. Thank you for joining me today. Why don't you check out your own scraps and trash and such and see what beautiful things you can make. Show me a picture over at my Facebook page, Ephemera Files by Tommy. Thank you so much, and as always, be kind.